The Price Academy Bite-Size History Videos. This video is introducing Queen Anne, the last Stuart monarch. Queen Anne was the last of the Stuarts and the second daughter of James II and his first wife, Anne Hyde. She was born on the 6th of February 1665. Queen Anne was reportedly shy, conscientious, stout, gouty, short-sighted, and very small. Although Anne's father was a Roman Catholic, she was reared a Protestant at the insistence of her uncle, King Charles II. Anne's mother died when she was 6 years old, and her father remarried in 1673 to Mary of Modena. With this marriage, he confirmed his allegiance to the Catholic faith. Sarah Jennings first came to court in 1673 as a maid of honour to Mary of Modena. She was 5 years older than Anne. Sarah met John Churchill at court as he was a page to King James. Anne married Prince George of Denmark in 1683, who was supposed to be a bore with even King James, Anne's father remarking, "I have tried him drunk and I have tried him sober, but there is nothing in him." In 1685, Anne's father became king. On the 10th of June 1688, Anne's stepmother, Mary of Modena, gave birth to a boy who would displace Mary and Anne in the royal succession. Anne never accepted that the baby James Stuart, known as the Old Pretender, was legitimate. It was Sarah who persuaded Anne to side with Protestant ruler William III of Orange when William overthrew James II in 1688 as part of the Glorious Revolution. James fled to France into exile. By the Bill of Rights, William and his wife Mary, who was Anne's older sister, were made King and Queen of England, and Anne was placed in line for succession to the throne. Anne never enjoyed good health, and the almost constant pregnancies that ended in miscarriage did not help. She became pregnant 17 times, but only William, the Duke of Gloucester, lived to age 11. He died at Hampton Court Palace in 1700. Anne was 37 when she became queen in 1702, upon William's death in the March. At her coronation, she was suffering from a bad attack of gout and had to be carried to the ceremony in an open sedan chair with a low back. Her closest friend was Sarah Jennings, who later became the Duchess of Marlborough when her husband, John Churchill, was made the Duke of Marlborough, after his great victories over the French. The friendship between Anne and Sarah is well documented, and they corresponded to each other when apart with fanciful names. From 1691 onwards, Sarah was Mrs. Freeman and Anne Mrs. Morley. Later, Sarah was to be replaced in Anne's affections by a cousin of hers called Abigail Hill. She caught the Queen's attention during Sarah's frequent absences from court. John Churchill, the Duke of Marlborough, was one of England's greatest soldiers and won a great victory over the French at the Battle of Blenheim in 1704. There were subsequent victories over the next 5 years by Marlborough, which resulted in Blenheim Palace being built as a gift by Anne to show the country's appreciation. During Anne's reign, the English captured Gibraltar in 1704, and a treaty was signed in 1713, ensuring England had a permanent foothold on the Spanish mainland. The treaty also recognised Anne's title over her half-brother, James Stuart. On the 1st of May 1707, Anne became the first sovereign of Great Britain, as the United Kingdom of Great Britain was also created during her reign by the Union of England and Scotland. One British Parliament would meet at Westminster and there would be a common flag and coinage. Scotland could keep its own church and system of law and education. Having endured ill health for most of her life, Anne died on August 1st, 1714, aged 49, from a stroke at Kensington Palace. When she died, she was succeeded by the German Protestant Prince George of Hanover. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel, and follow me at Facebook and Twitter at Tanya Alex. 38.